Good Monday morning. We'll reconnect. There we go. Welcome to the Moose Minute Project on this Monday morning. Yes, it is. Sun is coming up, and boy, was it beautiful along the river today. Sitting in Boscoville, getting ready to go into work here in southwest Wisconsin. Going to be high of 47 today. No wonder my nose, my sinuses, whatever, doesn't know what the hell to do. I got either blowing nose and then by the end of the week, I guess we need our snowmobile jackets back on. But it is what it is. Welcome to the Moose Minute Project, entitled You Need to Walk Away. And you need to know when to walk away. Kenny Rogers, I think, summed it up best when he said, you need to know when to hold them and when to. And then just also in the coward of the county portion of it is walk away from trouble when you can. But there may be a time that you need to just make a stance as well and stick to your guns. So I don't try to. I give everybody a fair chance. I've tried to be more understanding, more compassionate towards things. But if you continue to push buttons, you continue to show your true self, I walk away and I'm done. I am done. So, I don't care if you're an acquaintance, a friend, a sibling, okay? As a sibling, I still love you, care for you, but I'm walking away, and I am done. I don't need any more mental anguish. I don't need any more mind games. I don't need anybody cussing at me, swearing at me, and this doesn't go along my siblings. This is with friends now, so I'm going to bounce between the two, but if you're going to try to prove your points by being disrespectful or anything else, I'm done. And it's okay. It's not a big deal to me. I'll do everything I can to make it right, and I'll do everything I can to be the human being that I'm supposed to be. But that also, I never did this before. I never did it in high school. I never did it when I should. I never should have stood nose to nose. Well, I need to every once in a while, and I need to learn that. I'm becoming more and more aware that people walk over you and they take advantage of you, or they can abuse you because they are thinking that they are so much better, that they are so much this and that. Well, when you cross the line, you cross the line. And those of you who know that I have no longer dealt with you or deal with you, at some point you've crossed the line. And I guess it's your turn to figure out what you did or how you did it, because I'm not dealing with it. So I've pretty much been straightforward with a couple people, and I never used to be. I can't say never. One job in particular, I was very nose to nose and very blunt. And I'm just not a gray area guy. I'm black and white. You treat people right, I'll treat you right. If you treat me right, I treat you right. If you're honest, I'm honest. But don't come to me with a full of disrespectful rage or whatever you want to be, because we'll be done. And it's okay. I'll survive another year. I mean, I remember people crying over best friends and, oh my God, whatever, in high school and whatever. You know what? They come and go. I have a very small circle of friends. I have a very small circle of who I would call really good friends. Because of that reason. They are respectful no matter how we stand politically, how we stand in the world. We've been through a lot of crap together, thick and thin. And I can probably count them all on this hand. So there are a few people that have the name, and in the community they're known for blah, blah, blah. Here's the problem with our community a lot of times is they are never said face to face. They are never held accountable for their actions. They are never held accountable for their crybaby, whiny mentality. And I think it's BS. Call them out on it. Call them for who they are. Call them for what they bring to the community. That's what needs to happen. And I'm not saying fisticuffs. I'm saying, but it shouldn't be around where you tippy-toe or anything else like that. I had a discussion with a young gentleman the other day, and his dad is very nice. Can he be a jerk? I'm guessing so. Sure. Everybody says that about me too. I can be a very blunt jerk. I guess Saturday night, I was told I was very loud. I'm not denying that. I don't have an indoor voice. I wish I did, but I don't. I guess I could be. And maybe it's when I'm drinking after a long day too. But that's okay. Had a lot of fun. And my throat's paying for it, so now I learned something today too. But hold people accountable for their actions. Hold people accountable for their behaviors. And call them out on it. They have no problems calling anybody else out on it. They have no problems calling people out for if they don't follow their rules or guidelines. So why should we pussyfoot around them? Why should we, oh, yeah, I understand. You were drinking too much. Yeah, I get that. Or you were tired and maybe you didn't eat. Or, you know, I'm sorry you woke up on the left side of the bed today, or your wife made you sleep on your couch, or whatever it may be. So now you have a right to be a jackwagon today. You get a free pass from the school nurse because you're a big wuss. Well, that free pass is revoked if it's around me. I don't have time for it. I don't want to be part of it. And I don't want you part of my events or at my functions or anything else. So we had a hell of a weekend. It was a riot of a weekend. And it was a lot of fun. A lot of people at the bowling alley. A lot of things are done. I will have the final total for Marcy's Strikeout Alzheimer's, the first annual, which means one thing. Already working on the date and what's going to happen on the second annual, because it was that much fun. Just trying to figure out when I can work it in. I don't think going later in the year is good. It might be a touch earlier, but we'll see. I got a few things to discuss with people. But do not treat me like a walking rug or anything else. I'm not a doormat. You're not going to do that to me, and I'm not going to stand up for it. People in this community know who I am. They know what I've done. You know, preliminary numbers show that with all the support from everybody that knows me or my mom and this disease, in 7 hours, we raised just shy of $5,000. And I will have a final number when that's all together. But I think that number is pretty impressive, speaking that we raised that money in that short a time frame with all the things we had going on. And it was because it's because I treated everybody that sponsors this place, that sponsored my tournament, know that this part inside of me is big. And there are so many people that were involved, from TKO to Morris Plumbing and Heating and Cooling to Honker to, it just is immensely goes on, and I will thank all them individual. But if you treat me with respect, I'm going to honor you and treat you with respect as too. But as soon as you come up to me and you cock off to me or you lip off to me, I'm done. I don't care anymore. I don't need to bowl with anybody like that. I don't need to be around people like that. I don't need to associate myself with that, because that takes away from me. If you put up with that behavior, if you allow that behavior, it's no different than you driving the getaway car at a bank robbery. You are going to be just as guilty as the person you associate with. So be truthful, be honest, and be respectful. But don't ever come at me that way and then say, oh, yeah, I apologize, I drank too much, or what. Bullshit. We all drink too much sometimes. We just need to know when to shut our mouths as far as being disrespectful. People can have their complaints. They can complain however they want. But you can do it respectfully. And I didn't reply very respectfully this weekend either to some individuals. And that part is on me. And I'm man enough to say, yeah, that was me. But it was shot at me. So at that point, I will go nose to nose. And that part, yeah, is it right? Nope, but you're not going to walk on me. I'm not a doormat. So we had a great time. It was a riot again. And I can't thank people enough. But you just need to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And then you also need to know when to stand up. You know, walk away from trouble when you can. There's no doubt. But if it crosses the line, yeah, you need to stand up for what's right. And if you associate with those kind of people and you think it's that, they make part of you that group. You're part of it. That's the part that hurts, is to see people that say, oh, these things, this thing, and this thing behind somebody's back, per se, but they won't say it honestly. Tell that person honestly. If they're friends, they'll understand. Honker and I have had many discussions. Him and I have had many talks. There's some things I've done wrong, some things he's done wrong. I've got other friends that we can have the talk. If you're friends, you can have that talk. It shouldn't be behind their back you talk about some way or other, and in front of them you talk a different way. Be that way. Stand up. Take credit for what it is. Tell somebody how it truly is. Because great things come from it. Like I said, this weekend proved that. When I had 53 basket raffles out, had silent auctions, and everything else. It proved that the community stood behind the project. It stood behind the people involved, between my wife and my dad. My kids were all there. Yeah, and it was a special lady that we honored. And not just my mom, but there's been many family members that have lost loved ones over this year or the last few years from Alzheimer's and dementia. So get everything numbered together this week, or hope I'm going to the bank today to get final number. Gonna go and present a check, hopefully on the air, with the Alzheimer's Association director here in the area. And we'll honor the Alzheimer's Association there with the sending the check that I think is going to be just shy of $5,000. But we'll see when the final tally comes out. So thank you all for watching this morning. But it's been on my mind a lot this weekend, and it's just for tolerating disrespect, tolerating lippiness with excuses is a tad ridiculous. And calling people out, if they get offended, they get offended. That's what it is. If you're true friends, you should be able to talk it out. But otherwise, you cross the line and we're done. It's okay. I'll move on. I got other people. I have other friends. It's no big deal. And unfortunately, to sound that way, I don't mean to sound like a jerk. But in your life, it is much better to not have that kind of stuff going on. And, you know, I guess the way I asked Alf to look at it is there were 48 bowlers there this weekend. And they all had a great time, except for maybe one. And I'm not dealing with it. So if you're going to bowl in my tournament, it will be next year. Well, it'll be, yeah, next year. I'm looking at a date, but the second annual will happen. I have most of the teams already said, yeah, if the date works, we're in, or count us in, we'll figure it out. because it was such a good time. So had a riot. And again, thank you to all the big sponsors. Thank you to everybody that came on board. Thank you to so many people that made it happen. And couldn't have done it without my family, that's for damn sure. Between the few issues we had, and yeah, sometimes I can say it was part maybe the alcohol, and sometimes I think it's just my mind getting overwhelmed where the stroke damage was and trying to make sure everything gets handled and gets right, and you're feeling rushed to try to get people back to bowling. And I missed a miscalculation, or one of my, and my family felt terrible that there was they don't understand that this discrepancy happens at bowling tournaments. They don't bowl. They're not at tournaments seeing that. I think our tournament this weekend was probably one of the smoothest ones. I might be a bad judgment. I might have been jealous. I don't know. Maybe I'm the type of guy to think that it ran as smoothly as possible. And minus a few hiccups, one with a score. And, I think that's really the only hiccup we had was the one scorekeeping error. And it was just something that missed. It was, and I think when I tried to call that there was going to be a roll-off for the tie after 6 games, my brain was overwhelmed with not following how I had it wrote out. And because we did have a tie after game 6. Again, congratulations to the Lone Rock Young Bucks. They won it, first place, took home $1,000. They did donate money back to my mom's tournament. Thank you to 3 rights and 1 left turn, the Johnsons and Danielle and Derek. You guys bowled good all day, and it was a lot of fun. And to Morris Heating and Cooling. And then, of course, the teams like Never on Time traveling out of Oconto and Milwaukee. Can't say enough. So thank you all. Thank you to People's Community Bank, too. They threw in. I've got so many people to thank. There's so many people that, Brittany donating 50-50 drawing back. It's that kind of things that I just can't. It makes me speechless that people do it. Lone Rock, when they did theirs, by the time where I was emotionally, I was starting to drain of my emotions because it had been a long day. And Eli, I think, understood and gave me a big hug for that. And thank God he's as tall as he is, so it's good. It was good. And for, Kim just losing her mom and my mom, and yeah. So love you guys all that bowled in it. Thank you to all that sponsored it. Truly appreciative. But I think everybody had a great time. I didn't hear too many complaints. But when you cross the line, like I said before, don't be surprised if I just cut things off. It is what it is. So have a great day. Thank you all very much. Take the time to bless somebody. Going into the holiday season right now, again, I'm going in the bank today to figure out the money situation. I'll let you guys know the final number there. But like I said, if you see a pair of gloves like the kid toy thing, or if Jones's, I think they just did their toy drive, but if you hear one, maybe grab one extra toy or something like that to throw in the boxes. Especially with the ones that I see, the ones that get me the most are like hanging in the window at People's Community Bank right now for warm winter clothes, or just gloves, or things we probably as kids took for granted, except for when your moms made you wear them Wonder Bread bags on your feet and then stuff them in your snow boots, those big nice moon boots. Should I go back to moon boots? I think kids would be much better. One-piece snowsuits and moon boots. That's what they need. You didn't need a sled with those one-piece snowsuits. You could slide down the hill without one. So have a great day, everybody. Truly thank you for tuning into the Moose Minute this morning. And I'll be back tomorrow morning with a full update after I visit People's Community Bank to get the final tally. I'm looking forward to it. Talk to you all later. Take time to bless somebody today. Thank you for tuning in to the Moose Minute Project. Totally appreciate everybody.